So a couple days ago, I did a tier list on the T5 Monkey Towers in Bloons TD, and you guys absolutely loved it, getting over 15,000 likes. It showed me that you guys want to see some more tier lists. So today, we're going to be doing the hero tier list. I'm going to show you what's the best and worst heroes in my opinion. Just as a side note, I'm not the best Bloons TD player, so you should probably take this tier list with a grain of salt, and it's more of just for fun. Also, make sure to comment down below what's your tier list for the heroes. So with this tier list, guys, it actually has all of the skins for the heroes as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be grading the skins for how cool they look, and then for the base hero, it's going to be determined on how good the actual hero is. Starting off with Captain Churchill. With an in-game cost of $2,000, he is a force to be absolutely reckoned with armor-piercing shells and Moab barrages as two abilities. With armor-piercing shells, your shots can pop black balloons and do extra damage to ceramic balloons. Moab Barrage launches a barrage of shells at up to 10 Moab class balloons on screen, dealing massive damage each time. As Churchill levels up, he gains more and more popping power and eventually gets his own machine gun that he can use for extra popping power. The downsides to Churchill is he's a lot like the crossbow master, whereas you need a straight line for the extra pierce that he provides. The problem with this, the maps become more and more strange and curvy, and it doesn't allow for Churchill to really shine. And with it being so incredibly expensive, and with that, unfortunately, we're gonna have to put Churchill in B tier. Next on the list is Benjamin. Honestly, Benjamin's kind of a fun tower to use, but realistically, he's kind of a meme, right? He doesn't really do much. He's seen as a support tower with his ability Biohack. The 4 closest monkeys pop an extra layer per attack for 6 seconds, and then the monkeys can't attack for 2 seconds after the effect ends. And then Siphon Funding downgrades most newly spawned balloons by 1 rank. Cash per pop from the affected balloons is doubled, lasts 10 seconds. Overall, Benjamin's good if you want to try to use a bank strategy, but realistically, you're going to be much better off just getting any other hero for the most part. I mean, he doesn't really do much. He's pretty expensive to put down, so unfortunately, Benjamin's gonna have to go in the worst possible tier. I'm sorry, Benjamin, but you're D tier. You need a serious buff. Guys, it is so sad to see Benjamin in the lowest tier. Benjamin's probably one of my favorite heroes, but he's not that great. Guys, 1 like on the video means 1 buff for our boy, Benjamin, guys. If we can get this video to 10,000 likes, maybe Ninja Kiwi will buff him. Probably not, but we can hope, right? Next on the list is Adora, the High Priestess. Adora actually has 3 abilities. The first ability being the Long Arm of Light. It greatly increases her attack range and power for a short duration. The next being Blood Sacrifice. Basically, you can just sacrifice a tower in order to get her more XP, which is equivalent to just buying XP, but I think it happens at a greater rate. But either way, it's just the same equivalent of spending money to give her more experience, because you have to sacrifice a tower you spent money on. And the last ability is Ball of Light. Brings forth a powerful ball of energy to strike down the balloons. Adora has a base in-game cost of $1,000, making her relatively affordable, and she's really good in the beginning stages of the game, allowing her to pop a lot of balloons. Problem is, she has problems with plasma balloons since she's a magic-based tower, and she kind of falls off in the middle of the game. However, she does come back once she hits level 20 and gets an incredible damage boost. She's obviously one of the coolest towers in the game, and I like using her, but we're gonna have to put Adora in... We're probably going to put Adora in either A or B tier. For now, we're going to put Adora in A tier, but it's like a B plus tier, honestly. It's like in the middle of A and B. I'm actually going to move Churchill down to C tier, and then I'm going to move Adora down to B tier for now. Azeeli, the Voodoo Monkey. Azeeli has an in-game cost of $600, which looking at the rest of the tower seems incredibly cheap. She brings 3 abilities to the table. Heartstopper. Prevents any regrowth from happening for 6 seconds. Sacrificial Totem. A totem that gives camo detection, extra pierce, extra range, attack speed, and projectile speed for nearby monkeys. Drains 10 lives. And finally, the bread and butter of Azeeli, and what everyone considers her to be the most useful with, is Moab Hex. Placed as a curse on a Moab class balloon, it takes damage every second until annihilated. This makes Azeeli incredibly powerful at dealing with the strongest balloons in the game. Fortified bad balloons, ZOMGs, and the whole works. She can actually solo bad balloons where other heroes struggle immensely trying to deal with them. I mean, if you're having problem with regrow balloons, you could literally get a village and then get the first upgrade, which is $250, which prevents regrow balloons from working while in the radius of the village. So it's not a global radius, but that should be able to get the tricks done. So overall, her main use is to deal with Moabs, but overall, I can just buy another tower that's going to help me with that, and then get a hero that's just going to pop more balloons. And so because of that, I'm going to probably be putting Azeeli in B tier. Next is Pat Fusty. Pat Fusty used to be considered an S tier tower until he got nerfed. He used to be incredibly powerful with his Rallying Roar, an ability that all nearby monkeys can pop 1+ layer and it lasts for 5 seconds. And then he has another ability, Big Squeeze. Grabs a Moab, BFB, DDT if visible, or ZOMG and crushes it to bits over 5 seconds. The buff Rallying Roar is incredibly good if you use it with fast attacking towers. Funny enough, he's actually a water tower. Pat Fusty can be placed in the water. Why Pat Fusty can be placed in the water, I don't know. But when you put Pat Fusty in the water, he actually becomes a water tower, and he can get buffs from Energizer and Carrier Flagship, making him even more powerful. The downsides to Pat Fusty is he recently got nerfed, so he's not as powerful as he used to be. And on top of that, his incredibly short range and his stubby arms makes it harder for him to pop balloons and allows balloons to get by. If you're able to put him in a corner or a roundabout where he has all of his range and allows to pop a lot of balloons, he can do work and do massive damage, especially with his Rallying Roar ability. He used to be S tier in my opinion, but now, because of the recent nerfs and changes, I'm going to put him in A tier. Next up, Quincy the Archer. Quincy is an incredibly powerful early game tower, costing only $540. At round 5, he's able to pop camo balloons, and at round 7, he fires an exploding arrow every 3rd shot, which can pop lead balloons. The thing with Quincy is he falls off late game. The thing is, he's so powerful early game, it allows you to build up some funds in order to prepare for the late game, so you don't really have to worry or struggle about the early game. His ability, Rapid Shot, triples the attack speed for a short period of time, and then Storm of Arrows covers a large area in a deadly rain of arrows. Both are incredibly useful for dealing with massive waves and rushes of balloons, ceramics, any type of balloon, he's going to be able to deal with it. Quincy for me is either in between S tier and A tier. Like, the problem is he'd be an S tier, but he doesn't have that late game potential, and since he doesn't add any buffs to other towers, I'm going to put him at A tier for now, mainly because he doesn't really go into the late game, right? He doesn't bring a lot into the late game. Yes, he is powerful, but he does fall off in the later rounds, and he's mainly just an early game just boost, so it allows you to just get ready for the late game. I don't think he's that top tier. Honestly, in this tier list, there's only one hero that I'm going to be putting in top tier. Maybe two, I'm not sure. But moving on, the next hero, Striker Jones. Let's talk about him. I love Striker Jones. Striker Jones is a fun hero to use. He's funny, he has big bombs, but the problem with Striker Jones is in order for him to be useful, you have to build your entire strategy around the hero. The whole idea with Striker Jones is he increases explosive based towers, your mortar towers and your bomb shooters. It increases their range, pierce, explosive damage, and all of the above. Him as a tower by itself is not that great. He can do some kind of damage, but in the end, he's just going to be kind of like another bomb tower where he just shoots things. His real bonus is from all the buffs he gives to the bomb towers and mortar towers around him. Striker Jones has an in-game cost of $750. His first ability, Concussive Shell, shoots a guided shell to the largest blue on screen, stunning it. It doesn't really do massive damage, but it does stun the balloons, and anytime you can stun a Moab balloon or slow down Moab class balloons is incredibly useful. Artillery Command resets cooldown on all bomb shooters and mortar monkeys. Being able to reset the cooldowns on all mortars and bomb shooters seems incredibly powerful, but when you think about it, there's only 3 abilities that you can reset. One of the abilities is Pop and Awe, which is from a T5 tower, meaning you can only have 1 Pop and Awe on the game at any given point. So you can only refresh it once. The thing with Moab Eliminator is it refreshes so incredibly fast that you don't really need to refresh it, right? I mean, it's probably on like maybe a 5 or 6 second cooldown, so you can kind of spam it. So that leaves Moab Assassin, a $3,000 upgrade that you can refresh. I did a video where I did 100 Moab Assassins versus the Moabs, and I used them, and that worked out pretty well. It was pretty funny, but like I said, you have to have a very specific strategy for Striker Jones to be viable. With that being said, Striker Jones, while he's a fun and silly hero, is not that good and I'm gonna have to put him in C tier. Gwyndolin has an in-game cost of $900, and she has 2 abilities. First, being Cocktail of Fire, hurls a flask of flammable liquid, burning balloons that pass through the fire. And then, Firestorm, sets the whole screen alight, burning all balloons and granting the heated up buff to all monkeys. She's kind of just a bland tower for the most part. Yeah, she does fire and she does a lot of things. She's unable to pop camo balloons with the help of a support tower, but she's not bad and she's not great. She has good DPS and is allowed to burn balloons, but she's just gonna be outclassed by certain heroes. With that being said, I'm gonna be putting Gwyndolin in B tier. Next on the list is Oben. Oben is one of the best heroes in the game, if not the best. He is incredibly powerful early, mid, and late game and provides insane buffs to some of the best towers in the game. Brambles creates a spiked bush on the track that can pop 20 balloons. By the time you hit level 16, Brambles can pop 500 balloons and collect every balloon type. His second ability, Wall of Trees, summons, you guessed it, a wall of trees across the track that destroys all balloons that enter. When full, the trees burst into money. By the time you hit level 20, even more balloons can be put into this, allowing you to pop balloons and make money at the same time. Take that, Benjamin. Why is this tower so good? Well, the main thing is he gives incredible boost to magic-based towers, specifically Druid towers, but it's not excluding all other magic-based towers. And let's not forget his passive ability that every 18 seconds creates a totem that slows all balloons near the totem by 30%. And by the time you hit level 15, Nature's Ward slows balloons down by 60% and has a reduced cooldown. And because of that, Oben gets to go into the S tier. Admiral Brickell has an in-game cost of $750 and being the only water-based hero in the game. She is incredibly powerful and the balloons community makes her out to be just downright broken. I personally don't use her all that much because I'm kind of bad and I don't play water maps all that much, but let's talk about her either way. Naval Tactics greatly increased attack speed of nearby water-based monkeys for a short time, and then Mega Mine deploys a devastating Mega Mine that triggers on Moabs and stuns nearby balloons. And by the time you hit level 8, Naval Tactics allow affected monkeys to hit camo balloons. This means by the time you're level 8 with Admiral Brickell, any naval-based tower in this vicinity could pop all balloon types. How incredibly overpowered is that? At level 19, she gets her most powerful upgrade yet. Naval Tactics affects all water-based towers everywhere. The fact that she gets a free MIB increases all water-based attack towers by an insane amount and has bombs that can just destroy any Moab, remove camo balloons, and it's just overall powerful. Admiral Brickell gets S tier. So with the tier list being made, we still have to go through and I'm gonna kind of rate the costumes, but this is just rating the costumes in my own personal preference. But what do you think of the tier list? Do you guys agree with it or do you disagree with it? Let me know in the comment section down below. What would you change about the tier list and could I improve? I don't know. Let me know. I would love to see you guys' tier list. And if you want to see more tier lists like this in the future, hit that like button. If this video gets over 10,000 likes, I'll do a tier list on all the Bloons maps. Biker Bones is a really cool idea. I actually really like Biker Bones. I'm gonna put Biker Bones in A tier because Biker Bones just looks super cool. Like, look how awesome he looks. Biker Bones. Pat Frosty. I hate to say it, guys, but like, it seems a little unoriginal because somebody's like, ha. Fusty, Frosty. No, that'd be funny. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I know I'm gonna get upset. People are gonna be upset. This Adora is really like. It's awesome. It looks kind of ugly in the beginning, like the chainmail kind of like doesn't make her look that great, but by the time she hits level 20 and turns into Dark Adora, she looks insane. And I'm gonna put it into S tier just because of how cool it looks, honestly. Okay, the water Oben, I'm honestly not that big of a fan. I'm gonna put it in D tier. Like, honestly, I'd rather just have the normal Oben because like it just makes him like all corally and just like, I guess it makes sense because he's like nature and he goes into water, but not that big of a fan. Cyber Quincy is super cool. I love using Cyber Quincy. Cyber Quincy gets an A tier from me. I like this Gwyndolin because it makes all the fire blue and I think it looks pretty cool, but I'm gonna put it into B tier mainly because I'm gonna skip ahead because the Harley Quincy or the Harlequin, it just goes S tier because like I love like Batman and Joker and stuff and they just made like, it's so cool. Like, it's so cool. All right, this guy, I think this guy's really cool. He just like, it's a completely different like cyberpunk feel. It goes into A tier for me. Okay, Azeali, making Azeali like a crazy cat lady is, I think it's just B tier. It's not like crazy. It's not awesome, but I'm gonna put it in B tier for now. Hunter Quincy, I don't know why they had to add Hunter Quincy. Like, the normal, like, Cyber Quincy looks awesome. Hunter Quincy gets a D tier from me. And then DJ Ben gets an A tier from me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tier list. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed, please consider hitting that like button. 10,000 likes, I'll do another Bloons TD6 tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I upload vids every single day here on the channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more awesome content. Bye, everyone. Oh!